Hello everybody, welcome and thank you initially for taking an interest in IT. In this presentation we'll aim to look at all of the reasons you may want to undertake this course and what you can expect from this course. So at Whitby we run the Level 3 BTEC in IT and that is equivalent to one A level, so it carries a very similar set of UCAS points. The next most important thing to make you all aware of, this is not a computing course. So if you're interested in purely learning to program, then this isn't the course that provides that. But there are computing elements to it, especially in one unit where you will learn some advanced, I should say, programming skills. Okay, so looking at UCAS points again, this is how it works out. If we were to look at the grades you can achieve in this course, it runs from pass to distinction star, and it doesn't marry up perfectly with A-level grades in terms of A to E, but if you look to the right of this table you'll see how this works. So if you get a distinction star in this course, that's the highest grade you can get. That would be worth the equivalent of an A star at A-level, and it would carry the same UCAS points. You can see a distinction works out as the equivalent of an A-level, a merit a C, and a pass an E. So in this case we don't have an equivalent to a B at A level, and we don't have equivalent to a D. Let's take a look at the structure of this course. So there are 4 units of work, of which 2 will be sat in Year 12 and 2 will be sat in Year 13. In Year 12 you will undertake a coursework unit which is called Unit 6 Website Development, and you will create or design and create a professional website. The second task that year is a controlled assessment, and this is around database design, and you'll learn advanced database skills, and then you will undertake a controlled assessment in exam conditions over several days in a computer room where you'll be given a set task and you'll need to use your skills and knowledge to solve that task. In Year 13, you will undertake a sit-down written exam around the idea of ICT theory, of which we'll talk about shortly, and you'll undertake the final coursework element, which is the social media unit, where you'll plan, design and implement a social media campaign across several different social media platforms. Let's then have a look at some of these units in more detail. So we will start with the exam. That'll be actually sat in Year 13, and it's a sit down in an exam hall exam, and you'll learn many of the theoretical elements of IT. If you'd studied IT at GCSE, you'll already be aware of these. We'll look in detail at many topics, including things like networking, including things like computer security, operating systems, and much, much more. It's a 2-hour exam, as it says on the left, and you do get an opportunity at resitting it. You can resit the exam once. Just in case you're interested in terms of the type of questions, I'm just going to show one on the next slide. So we've got a typical question here from one of the exams, not a particularly difficult question I must say, and it's knowledge about the difference between a hard disk drive and a more modern solid state drive. So this topic would be focusing around IT hardware. So there's a typical example of an exam question. So the next unit is Unit 2, and this is creating systems to manage information. You will sit this unit in Year 12, and this is, as previously mentioned, the controlled assessment unit. And what we mean by that is you will work with your teacher to learn the skills and knowledge of advanced database design and creation, and then you will use them skills and knowledge to solve a problem in exam conditions over several days. So it will be on the computer, but it will be in a room in complete exam conditions, so you won't get help off your teacher. You'll be expected to utilise your skills and knowledge to solve that problem. So what type of things can you expect when undertaking this unit? Well, you may remember using Microsoft Access lower down the school. We take our basic foundation in Access much further, and we look at relational databases, and we look at advanced query design, and we do touch on some Visual Basic in that as well. And these are all industry level skills that would allow you to go and do this as a profession or to take it further to degree level. So it is advanced database design in Microsoft Access, and your teacher will work with you to really focus in on these core skills for several months to get you ready to sit the controlled assessment. The next unit which we will talk about is our first coursework unit, and you'll sit this unit in year 12. This is Unit 6, Web Development. It is a practical unit that allows you to understand the principles of designing and creating a functional website. So in this unit, there'll be a large planning element to it, which will look at what we call the software lifecycle. And we won't be designing our website in a piece of software like Serif Web Plus anymore. We'll be looking to design it in a more professional application such as Dreamweaver, and we'll look at the coding element of website design, where we start to look at how we construct HTML coding and how we look at things like JavaScript, etc. So as with the database unit, we take this much further than at GCSE level, and we sort of look at it from a professional standpoint. So if I look at the next slide, so in this slide you can see one of the websites that was created by a former pupil of ours in year 12. They were given a scenario to work with, and you can see on the right they have coded much of this website in HTML. So they've learnt the language used to code web pages, and they've gone ahead and used those skills to code this in full. So it is industry level experience and tasks that we set you. It's the type of thing you would be expected to know, as I previously said, for the database unit, if you went on to study this at degree level or if you went to work in the industry. So the next unit which we will talk about, the final unit, is Unit 3, Social Media, and this will be undertaken typically in year 13. Again, this is a practical coursework unit, and similar to the web design unit, you will complete a large research and planning element before we start undertaking the actual task. You will design your own brand for this one and come up with a business idea, and you will launch that brand stroke business as a social media campaign, typically on something like Facebook and YouTube. It will be 2 social media platforms, and there is some wiggle room on that for different platforms if you don't wish to do it on Facebook and YouTube. You'll create all of your own content, and we'll show you how to do that, such as video editing, graphic design, coming up with a logo, and all the things you would expect when you were trying to launch a product or a business on social media and build up a following. We'll look at how we can get your social media channels ranked highly, how we can get a following, and all the things and all the skills that will be needed to go away and do this at a high level. Just some ideas here from ones we've had previously. You can see somebody's created a logo there, and they've done their cover for their Facebook page and their cover for their YouTube channel, and that is literally just a couple of things from many sets of graphics, videos, media, and all sorts of things that they've utilised the skills that we've shown them to go ahead and create to a very high professional standard. So what are we looking for the type of candidate that wants to do this course? Well, ideally we would like you to achieve a 4 in maths and a 4 in English. It would be beneficial for you to have sat the IT course we teach at Whitby, or if you are coming from a different school or college, something similar in IT. It is negotiable if you've not done the level 2 or GCSE type course in IT, if you've got a good set of GCSE results. So come and speak to us first if you're unsure. So what can this course lead to? Well, first of all, it's becoming increasingly common for companies to now offer IT-based apprenticeships. We've had previous students who've sat this course, gone on to achieve a place on an IT-based apprenticeship. This course can absolutely prepare you for that. As we discussed previously, it carries the same UCAS points as an A-level, so it can provide you with that needed currency for university applications, regardless of whether that's IT-based or not. It provides an excellent foundation for studying IT and computing-based degrees. If you're concerned that it doesn't give you the computing knowledge, then be rest assured that the majority of computing degrees do train you to program from scratch. And finally, is the world of digital IT is certainly not going away. It's quite the opposite. We believe it's a very appealing qualification to prepare you for the digital world that is just going to grow and grow over the decades to come.